Ahead now to a big anniversary 50 years ago in January. A charity football game with a cheeky name that would create generations of fanatical supporters kicked off right here for the very first time in Sacramento. The Pig Bowl, Guns and Hoses, takes first responders off the front lines and onto the line of scrimmage in a full contact showdown between local law enforcement and fire departments. But after 5 decades, this Sacramento institution could soon be coming to an end.
It's a legacy that got its start right here, Hughes Stadium at Sacramento City College 50 years ago. A full contact football game between the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office and Sacramento Police Department. They called it the Pig Bowl. In 2003, a change. Law enforcement facing off against Sacramento area fire departments. It became Guns and Hoses.
It's our Super Bowl. It's our only game of the year.
For one Sunday each January, first responders traded burning buildings and crime scenes for blocks and tackles, for big hits and touchdowns.
I want to see these two teams try and crush each other.
Raising $1.6 million for local charities along the way.
It truly is for a worthy cause.
Walt White is a former Sacramento fire chief.
And you played too?
Yeah, I played in 6 of the first 8 games.
You guys were playing full pads, full contacts. Some of your players even had experience in college. I mean, these are serious games.
The athletes that go out there on the field, you know, I know it is all for charity, but the guys that put on the gear and they're playing for keeps.
With pride and a trophy on the line, the firefighters called themselves the Dogs. Law enforcement, the Hogs.
When you hear Pig Bowl, you hear Guns and Hoses, you know that these are professionals who take on extremely difficult, serious jobs, but they do have a sense of humor.
They have a sense of humor. They're people just like you and I.
Kickoff is underway.
Capturing all the action on the gridiron and behind the scenes in this all-important year, documentary filmmaker Clark Langen.
I start thinking to myself, okay, here are folks that will run into a burning building, run towards a bullet, which most of us won't do, and then on their off time are doing something monumental for the community.
He's documenting what could be the most significant game in the Pig Bowl's history, its last.
Will the game survive beyond the 50th year?
Did they finish on a high note with the 50th?
It's a question that has surrounded the Pig Bowl for years, and now modern realities are catching up with this historic game. With the rising costs of insurance and the risk of injuries to first responders, organizers say it may be time to hang up the cleats for good.
You know, it's just a lot of work that you're asking full-time career people to do in addition to their regular job on a voluntary basis.
It could very well be the end of a chapter.
It could be the end of a very significant chapter of Sacramento history.
Now the question is, what legacy will the game leave behind?
If this really is the last Pig Bowl, what will Sacramento have lost?
That's a pretty deep question. A legacy that is almost dying in the American spirit, in a way. If people were to just take a little bit of time, do a little bit of research, have a little bit of understanding for what this game is about and how it's affected the community, they would never want it to ever end, period.
Anything that Americans feel are good, great, or characteristic of themselves, they dub an institution. And I would say that the Pig Bowl, Guns and Hoses, has become a Sacramento institution.
50 years after sheriff's deputies and Sacramento police put on pads for the very first Pig Bowl, and 20 years after area firefighters joined the party and they called it Guns and Hoses, a Sacramento institution 5 decades in the making could soon be coming to an end back where it all began.
The Pig Bowl celebrates its 50th anniversary game on January 27th. Follow us here on ABC 10, on air and online for coverage of what's destined to be a historic game.